Many kids and many grown-ups do figure out over time what their passions are. And sometimes we let I don't think it's that hard. I think what happens though sometimes is that we let our intellectual selves overrule those passions. And so that's what needs to be guarded against.
One of the most successful business tycoons in the world, the founder of the multinational tech company Amazon. Today, let's talk about an unstoppable man. A man who wasn't rich since birth. A man who had no heritage to carry him into being the second richest man on earth. A man who turned everything into gold by his sheer dedication, hard work, decision-making skills, and talents. Jeff Bezos was born on 12th January 1964 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He was born to a 17-year-old teenage girl, Jacqueline. His father, Ted Jorgensen, owned a bike shop. After his parents' marriage fell apart, Jacqueline married a Cuban immigrant Miguel named Mike Bezos in April 1968. Later, Mike adopted Jeff when he was only 4 years old. After the adoption, his surname changed from Jorgensen to Bezos. Bezos was always a brilliant child. He completed his graduation from Miami Palmetto High School, Florida. He also worked at McDonald's during that time as a short order line cook in the breakfast shift. At the University of Florida, he attended a training program named Student Science Program. The valedictorian, National Merit Scholar, and Silver Knight Award winner for science, Jeff Bezos mentioned in his graduation speech that he dreams of a day when humans will colonize space. He graduated in 1986 from Princeton University and scored a GPA of 4.2. Jeff completed his degree in Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. Well, the journey of Bezos began just like any other person via a series of jobs. He was offered jobs at Intel, Bell Labs, and Anderson Consulting, but he decided to work at a telecommunications startup, Fittle. Bezos was given the task of building an international trade market network in the company. He was promoted to the position of Director of the Customer Service and Head of Development. Jeff decided to shift into the banking industry and worked at Bankers Trust as the product manager. He worked there from 1988 to 1990. In 1990, he switched to a newly founded hedge fund, D.E. Shaw and Company, with a strong emphasis on mathematical modeling. He was promoted to a senior vice president at the age of mere 30. Jeff Bezos' journey to Amazon is full of ups and downs, a story that is worth telling. After Bezos left his job at D.E. Shaw, he opened Amazon on July 5, 1994 in his garage. It's unbelievable, but he jotted down the business plan for Amazon on a cross-country drive from New York City to Seattle. Initially, he lent $300,000 from his parents to invest in his startup.
There was a lot of risk involved. In fact, also in the audience today are my parents, who were the original funders of Amazon.com. They invested about $300,000, which is roughly their, was a reasonably large fraction of their life savings. And my dad's first question was, "What's the internet?" So they were not, betting on the concept or the idea. They were betting on their son. I told him I thought there was a 70% chance they would lose their entire investment.
Amazon began as an online bookstore, but Bezos always had bigger plans. After 3 years of Amazon's foundation, it was made public with an initial public offering. Bezos started diversifying Amazon into the online sale of music and video in 1998. By the end of the year, he was successfully able to expand into many other products and consumer goods. Jeff wanted to create a single platform for reading in a constant flow. Thus, in 2007, he launched a platform for avid readers called Amazon Kindle. Central Intelligence Agency gave him a contract on behalf of Amazon Web Services where he secured $600 million. In the same year, Amazon was recognized as one of the largest shopping retailers in the world. In 2000, Bezos obtained $2 billion from banks as the company's cash balances dipped to only $350 million. In the same year, fast spending from Amazon caused troubles in the budget. Unfortunately, the company nearly went bankrupt, which forced Bezos to take some major steps. He closed distribution centers and laid off 14% of the Amazon workforce. It seemed like the end, the rock bottom. But after every bad day comes a good day. In 2003, Amazon rebounded from the financial drop to score a huge profit of $400 million. Former US President Donald Trump accused Amazon and Bezos of sales tax avoidance and anti-competitive business practices. Due to this serious accusation, the personal wealth of Bezos was adversely reduced by $10.7 billion. Later, when a report by Stanford University indicated that Trump cannot impact the regulation of Amazon, the losses starts recouping. After a lot of criticism faced by Amazon, Bezos announced a company-wide wage increase in the salary of his employees on October 2, 2018. The minimum wage of American workers increased to $15 per hour after this big step. In May 2016, Bezos sold 1 million shares from his company holdings. He raised $600 million due to this move. On 4th August 2016, he sold more shares worth $700 million. A year later, about 130,000 employees were hired for company distribution centers. By 2019, the stocks of Amazon reached over $109 billion and he started selling stocks to raise cash, which he invested in other enterprises. One of his major investments was in Blue Origin. Amazon experienced its first ever highest profit of $2 billion on 1st February 2018. In March, his wealth surpassed $112 billion and was recognized as the wealthiest person in the world by Forbes. Now let's take a look at the properties owned by Jeff Bezos. 212 Fifth Avenue apartment in New York City. Bezos bought this penthouse for $80 million. It is a 3-story building with 2 units built below it. It is one of the most expensive real estate deals south of 42nd Street. 4 condos. Beside the exclusive New York estate, Bezos owns 4 condos in the infamous Century Building overlooking Central Park, historic textile museum. Bezos also owns a textile museum worth $23 million. It is the biggest house in the capital city, Washington. Bezos is the new owner of the home of billionaire David Geffen. He purchased this piece of Hollywood history by spending $165 million. It has been reported to be the most expensive home ever sold in California. The house is 13,000 square feet with 8 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, 2 guest houses, 2 infinity pools and tennis courts. Even after owning so much wealth, Bezos is seen to drive around his car mostly a used Honda Accord. Let's take a look at some of the high-tech cars owned by him. Ferrari Pininfarina Sergio. Priced at $3 million, Bezos owns a car that is a perfect balance of advanced technology and human interface. Bugatti Veyron Mansory. Another in the list is a limited edition car with beautiful craftsmanship and hand-picked materials. It is a perfect blend of both luxury and expert engineering and costs between $2 to $4 million. W Motors Like Hypersport. Created by W Motors, it is the most expensive car ever featured in the Fast and the Furious franchise. It cost $3.4 million. Lamborghini Vanino. Costing $4.5 million, Bezos owns this sports car too. As he owns millions of dollars, it would make sense for him to own some planes and gadgets. Let's take a look at them. Gulfstream G650ER jet. Jeff Bezos is the proud owner of two Gulfstream G650ER private jets. It is the fastest jet in the world. Mechanical 10,000 years watch. Jeff knows how to set high standards. He recently commissioned the creation of a $42 million mechanical clock inside a mountain. The clock of the long now is set to run for 10,000 years. Blue Origin Aerospace. Now, planes and jets are a small thing for a man of Bezos' caliber. He is working continuously to make space travel affordable for some of his regular customers. Jeff Bezos stands at a net worth of $197 billion. He made a historic statement recently and announced that he is stepping back as the Chief Executive Officer of Amazon. He will continue to serve as the executive chairman. He further wrote in the email to his employees that he intends to spend more time in philanthropy and his other companies, including Blue Origin and the Washington Post. Founded in the year 2000, Bezos Family Foundation is a non-profit and private organization. It was established by Jackie and Mike Bezos along with their family. The aim of the organization is to prepare all the young people to achieve their potential so that they can make a significant contribution to society. The foundation has an international reach as it serves clients worldwide. It invests in different programs, public awareness and research so that it can elevate the level of education, thereby improving the lives of many children. It is often said that Jeff Bezos' charitable efforts are very selective as compared to other billionaires. Although he is among the richest men in the world, his rank is still not high when it comes to donation and charity. Jeff donated $10 million to the Museum of History and Industry in Seattle in 2011. The money was used by the museum to form the Bezos Center for Innovation. In 2012, he donated $2.5 million to the Washington United for Marriage. It was a group that used to fight for marriage equality. In 2016, Bezos donated $1 million to Mary Place, a non-profit organization that provides housing to Seattle homeless. In February 2020, he has pledged to fight climate change by donating $10 billion. It is an attempt to help preserve and protect the natural world. Jeff Bezos has always been a person who loves to plan things and deliver exceptional services through creativity. His company is reaching heights because of its strong vision and desires. Bezos always plans his goals, taking in mind its long-term consequences. His sole motive is to serve customers regardless of their purchasing power. Jeff uses a mental technique called the Feynman technique for better delivery of messages. He believes that if a message is not delivered properly, then it will lead to mistakes. He also believes that criticism and complaints will come in his way, but a clear plan will help him to rectify them. He sticks to laid out plans and goals. Men like Bezos are an inspiration for the upcoming generation. He made gold from nothing. A self-made man with an empire held in tight grip of his hard work and dedication.